And look at Randy Orton slithering.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
KO! Here's the cover.
Hey, what's up guys, and we're back here today with another video. This time kind of more focusing on some bottom tier games, and I feel like I probably post more bottom tier games than most people, just because I post a lot of light tank games, and scouts really don't fall into that category as much because it's a little more, they don't struggle as much being bottom tier, at least when they have the right map, most of the time. Just because of their mobility and such, and relying on vision. But today we're going to be in two tanks that don't quite fit that bill. With the first game being the Type 59-2, which I don't think it's been on the channel yet, but got this about a month ago or so. I'm quite enjoying this tank. Much more so than the regular Type 59, so highly recommend this tank if you're looking for something for a premium. To pick this one up, it's fantastic so far, at least I'm enjoying it. First game, I think we're Platooned with Swindle. He's in the AMX M449 variant. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I'm going to butcher it. But he's going to go up to on Hidden Village? Yeah. I'm terrible with map names. But here we're falling asleep. I'm taking up this position usually in light tanks or TDs. Simply be put because it's kind of a secondary position and you get some easy shots. As you see, I am just totally asleep here and in a haze, I guess, this early part of this game because I'm just letting all the tanks go by for some reason. Maybe I'm just being generous, I don't know. But you can see we picked up 5 spots and could have had some early damage here in the beginning, but for some reason we didn't take advantage of that. And I think that this position kind of plays into why it varies on what tank you're in. As you see some great hitboxes, GG Wargaming. So like Swindle's position, he's more in the primary brawling kind of spot where he's at, even though he's bottom tier. This is not totally bottom tier because there's only one tier 10 per side. They have a 5A. I think we have a mouse, I'm pretty sure. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure about that. And again, I'm not taking up like middle of the front lines kind of stuff here. Kind of just taking it easy, being a secondary support person, especially in this tank because I only have 200 pen, 250 with heat rounds. So me fighting tanks frontally at this tier, it's gonna be a struggle, honestly. With either of those rounds, 200 pen is garbage on against tier 10s. As you see, we pick up the shot on the M2, no problem going through the side of him there at all. But this is a tank that's going to require more in this kind of matchmaking to be a little more passive and just take it easy. Versus Swindle in this game, he's in a tank that, even though it's 2 tiers down, as that was a disgusting shot from the same B, by the way, just purely filth. He has somewhat of the armor, though it hasn't appeared to work this game, as he's gotten blatted by something. That can be more relied upon heavily even in tier 10 games. And in the second game in this video, we're going to be in a tank that's similar in that regard, in that it does have armor that can work against tier 10s if used properly. And here, even in this tank, we're trying to still use it to its utmost advantage, which is being hauled down. We're using this slight ridgeline here. And this M2's terrible gun handling, along with our terrible gun handling, apparently, to see if we can't just have him bounce off our turret. Type 59 turret's not the best in the world, but it should be enough to bounce an M2's standard rounds. And you see we track the KPZ 50T out in the open, and I don't know if he actually can return fire. He barely can, and his repair speed is god awful. That's the great thing with being something to keep in mind being bottom tier is go for those tracking shots, because you can get so much assisted damage potentially by doing that, and be a big help to your team if you can get those tracking shots like that, or if you can just keep somebody permatracked even though they're, this shouldn't be, but we're able to take him out somehow and keep him permatracked, which is very, very nice. We're already up to 2,800 damage just by being in this position right here. This is a pretty strong. I like this spot, honestly. I've been going here quite frequently. Even in some light tanks, I'll spot the middle and then kind of roll back into this position. Not saying it's a primary way to go, but it definitely works. As here we're kind of moving up, the flow of the battle's kind of changed. See if we can't, a little slow in the reaction there on the wheel too. And we have to kind of keep in mind all these angles. Now there's no arty in this game, so we're kind of able to use more positions. And here we're gonna push up even more aggressively. Again, trying to go for the tracking shot. Fortunately, we don't even do damage there or track him. I don't know magically how. That's unfortunate for us. And before we can even get another reload in, again, the reload on this gun is not great. Tier 8 105s on medium tanks generally have really, really long reloads. He's taken out. And again, 200 pen, even in Meal 2 from the front, is an orange pen marker and not reliable. And now the UDES 16 is poking out. I'm trying to side scrape against him as best we can, but it's not quite enough. The sidearm on this tank is not quite enough for that. This Emil 2 is very, very aware of us again, and I'd rather shoot the side of the E75 here than the front of the Emil 2, and we're just taking advantage of people that aren't paying attention to me. I don't want to be the focus of attention here at all. I still haven't loaded a heat round, which is impressive, but now this Emil 2 is definitely the center of my attention, as he's just gone straight in. He really wants to shoot me for some reason, but we just do the right thing there, push up aggressively, hug him in the face with our turret, use our tank to our advantage, and now he looks to appear to be out of ammo, and we finish him off for our third kill and bring our damage total up to 4,500 damage nearly. And now we have the score advantage and the hit point advantage here a little bit, but here we make a little bit of a blunder. Mess with that, kind of our big first misplay of this game. The terrain there poked up slightly, and that took our gun depression off, so we take a shot of damage from the SU, unfortunately, and thankfully he did not set us alight, which is good. Here looking for the shot on the T10. I actually loaded HE because he's so low health. I was going to do that. I could also potentially use it on the SU as well. And here I'm just looking. I don't want to get shot by the SU either. And at this point, it doesn't look like the T10 is going to poke. So we're just going to go back to trying to deal with these two. A little more pressing threat. Just trying to get a gun out of the game if I can get the T10. And I guess the SU forgets that I'm even in this area, so he pokes back up. Then we finish him off for our fourth kill. And this game should be in the bag, honestly. Somebody can just push down, and there we go. Our KPZ takes out the UDES, and now all that's left is the T10 that is in the field. So, pretty solid game. Again, we weren't really the center of attention here as we line up a shot on the T10, and somehow that one goes in again. Not sure. And we didn't even have to use any heat rounds, which is surprising, considering the lack of pen on this gun. Again, it's only 200 on the APCR, which, especially with APCR, isn't the best. But we made it work. Again, not really a bottom tier game. There's only one tier 10 per side. Let's see the post game results there. 2100 base XP. That is it is a benefit of being bottom tier, as you can get a lot of XP built up if you do a lot of damage. But I always see that used as an argument against like why people don't want +1 or +1 -1 matchmaking. I'm not trying to make this video into that. But honestly, I don't see that as great for me. That's not a great reason for me. I'd rather still see +1 -1. I think it would benefit everybody, and the game would be more enjoyable, especially for new players coming in that are grinding stock tanks and such. Like, nobody wants to fight, I don't know, in a stock T29, a Type 4 heavy, or a stock Tiger 1 against like an E75. Like, nobody wants to do that. So, yeah. Second game, moving on now, is on Fjords, and this time we were very, very bottom tier. Platooned with Petty this time. For some reason he's playing the Capture King Tiger. I'm actually in the Chrysler K, which again is a tank that actually has the armor and the ability to do okay when it's bottom tier. It's not ideal. you can see that we immediately, me and Petty both said this in the party, we immediately both switched to APCR. Again, the AP on this is only 200. I don't know what the APCR is. I'm sure it's around 258. I'm pretty sure it probably is. Most of these American guns at this tier generally are around that kind of general ballpark kind of area. And even with this terrible, terrible matchmaking that we're in right now, we're still actually, at least I'm personally, going to go to the standard kind of positioning I would go in a heavy tank. One of the two spots. This position is a little more flexible because I can kind of move around a little bit. The upper left side of this map, on the mountain pass to the left in the top map, is also a spot you can go in your heavies. And the bottom flank, I just never go because it's just pretty much useless. And the reason I'm kind of playing heavy tank here, and this was from yesterday actually, is I'm trying to get for the sharpshooter contract, so I'm kind of going through all my heavy tanks, hence why this tank doesn't even have camo on it, and just trying to get all the XP done. Somehow that batch at AP pens me frontally. I'm amazed how. I generally am looking around, trying to find out where he penned me at. I have no idea. And then Petty gets slapped by artillery. Much skill. And at this point, we're kind of getting pushed from two angles. I can look at the mini-map as this huntsman decides he just wants to commit suicide, I guess, and just tries to side on in front of the entire team and just keeps going for some reason, and then just dies spectacularly, I guess. But now we have a bigger threat behind us. There's tanks in the front of us. They're tier 9, tier 8. Now we have two tier 10s pushing behind us. That's where we want to be at. Their focus, again, is on the E6. It's right near them. So we're going to do our best to try to give him some support. Again, going for the tracking shot if I can, but the Valor moves up. And at this point, I'm trying to use my armor to his best of his ability. The Chrysler GF, is kind of a broken tank at tier 8, honestly, the armor it has. But at tier 10, it's a little more Swiss cheese. But it's still very viable if you can get in a side-scraping position like this. As we send in the crazy Russian and Sergey, as he goes in, and when people go in like this and take out another tank, I'm going to go in and support him. Me and Petty are, as we're going to chase down this E6 and just kind of take the initiative here. And E6 is running away, and he misses a shot. We put one into him, give him a nice little love tap, and then Petty's able to finish him off. So kind of a crazy little bit of engagement there. You got to send in a crazy Russian to do your dirty work sometimes, but you know, it works. And now you can see we've lost the upper hill as well. So even though we sent most of our tier 10s apparently up on the hill, they still lost somehow. So we're moving on. And even I think at this point in the party, we're like, this game, there's no way we can win this. They have a full health 57 heavy. That's a full health bad chat. All these autoloaders on full health. Autoloader even on like half health is terrifying, especially in a bottom tier tank. As we put one shot in the 57 heavy pushing down, see the KPZ is on full health. They're all on full health. Our team did no damage to these guys somehow, and the 57 heavy is just pushing right on in with the Centurion. Centurion gets shut down by Petty. 57 heavy is being way overconfident here. I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe he's not thinking at all. I don't know. We track in there in place. Give him a little love tap here. Try to keep him tracked. Unfortunately, it doesn't do us any good as he repairs it. We put another shot into him. Somehow we track ourselves because it's logic. We repair that really quickly. And we're just trying to turn with him. And we finish him off there for the kill. So he's just being super overconfident there. And at this point, I start pushing up a little bit, which is kind of a mistake. As we take a shot there from the grill, or I think not the grill. It may have been the Conway, actually, looking at the hit points there. But we have a grill, a Conway, and an SU that are all unspotted. They're all probably sitting in their base, full health again. And now we're poking out again, KPZ, and here comes a full health Batchet. Because logic. And we put one into him. He's just RBRTing me, which is lucky, because he would auto-pen Petty. If he focused Petty, he'd kill him easily. But with our armor, he's actually bouncing consistently, and he's just RBRTing onto me, I can tell. And I'm just trying to wiggle, and put a shot into the Batchet. But unfortunately, we get taken out by the grill, who made his way all the way around, and he finishes us off before we can take out the bat chat. But Petty does finish off the bat chat quickly after that, and then already kills the Grill 15. So we were able to rack up 4,600 damage before we were taken out. A crazy damage total for a bottom tier tank. And now Petty's just left alone against the KPZ, which should be an easy situation for the KPZ. But for some reason he's bounced 2 off of him already, and the E6 is now pushed behind him, even though the E6 is on 100 health. And now the KPZ is pushing. But the DPM on Petty's Captured King Tiger, along with the E6, is enough to take out the KPZ. But now Petty is only on 368 health, so he's a one-shot for either of their TDs. And unfortunately for us, our E5 is AFK at this point, so he's kind of left alone with a one-shot E6, who is now kind of repositioning, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as the Conway makes an appearance after sitting in the back of Bursting Marshmallows all game, and he appears on full health and takes Petty out. So that game was actually a loss, unfortunately, even though 2 tier 8 tanks in a platoon did nearly 10k damage between both of them. Still a loss. Unfortunately, can't win them all, I guess, but we did our best to try to win that game. Unfortunately, it was not enough. So, can't win them all, I guess. But would have been nice to have a full health E5 at the end. So, a couple good games for you all, including a loss, which is kind of surprising. But, a couple good games, bottom tier. I know I've seen all the games you feature, or something like that, or top tier games, whatever nonsense. I don't know. But here are some bottom tier games for you, and just a couple thoughts on how I kind of deal with that overall. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back with better content most of this week. So yeah, look forward to that, and I will catch you guys later. See ya. Peace.